All right. Right now we're joined by Tony Covington, former Cavalier. Played some pro ball as well in the NFL, now color analyst for the Virginia Radio Network, and he joins us once again on the Sportsline. Tony, how are you? Appreciate the time.
Oh, man, I'm doing great. How about you guys?
Doing good, Tony. Any surprise that Brennan got the nod today over Keaton Thompson?
No, not at all. I mean, he's been in the system. Anytime he's come into the game, few and far in between, he's done well. Whether it was leading us to touchdowns his true first year, or when Bryce went down, he was able to come in and move the team. So it doesn't surprise me in the least.
We see this all the time when a team has a really successful quarterback who's so important to what they do, and then that player leaves, whether it be for injury or in case of Bryce Perkins graduating and moving on. That folks, oh my goodness, they start thinking, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? And obviously the loss of Bryce Perkins is a big one, but you seem to think that Cavaliers will be okay.
Yeah, I mean, I really do. I mean, he's not Bryce. He has a different skill set. I think he throws the ball extremely well, gets the ball out quick, throws a nice tight spiral. But he also is a feisty runner. He is more of that Taysom Hill type of runner. And he looks up the contact. So he, as former players and current players like to say, he's got that dog in him.
Hey, Cub Armstrong is going to wear number 5 for the Cavs this season. That was your old number, right? He's got some big shoes to fill.
Yeah, see, he definitely got to represent. if you're gonna rock the stink coat, and you gotta come with it.
How good a fit do you think he is for this offense?
I think he's absolutely perfect. Like I said, when you look back to the days of BYU and Taysom, when Taysom Hill was the quarterback, Brennan fits into that mold. I mean, perfectly. 6'2", 6'3", 225, just a real strong build, and just a great runner. And I think he'll be a better passer than Taysom is, and I think he'll prove all of that this season.
Tony, Virginia, of course, opens at Virginia Tech. First game of the year, September 19th. What a way to open your season, taking on your arch rival.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to go ahead and get to the good right off the bat. So, let's not even belabor the point. Let's not wait all the way to Thanksgiving. Let's just go ahead, drop it like it's hot right from the gate, and let's get the darn thing done.
The cool part about that is if there's any ACC football, we're guaranteed to get the Commonwealth Cup. I don't know if we're going to make it all the way through the season, but certainly hoping we'll at least kick it off, and then we get that game. That's a good thing. What do you think? And we get that it's just your opinion. No one knows for sure, but do you think we'll have football this fall?
I think we will start. I think we will definitely start, and I really think it'll depend on the case. If they can keep cases from spiking, I think we have a shot at a completed season. But I'm just not sure, guys, how they can keep these guys safe. I know Virginia's going to do the protocol. They're going to do what's necessary. They're going to hold the kids accountable, and the kids are going to hold themselves accountable. But then you have to deal with other universities, and although they're supposed to be just as stringent because it's the conference, will they be as diligent in their protocols as we are? And that's the big elephant in the room. We just don't know.
Tony, I believe this is going to be, your 9th year as an analyst on UVA football games. How much fun are you having in the booth with Mr. Kane?
Man, when Dave lets me get a word in, it's y'all know Dave.
Oh, yeah.
But no, that's my guy, man. It has been awesome. Dave has taught me a lot, man, and he and I just have a great relationship, not only in the booth but outside. He's just a great guy, man, and I just have nothing but great things to say about him. That's my dude.
Now, you graduated, Tony, in 91? Is that correct?
No, I graduated in '90. I just had a year eligibility left, so I played in grad school to finish that last year eligibility.
You played on the UVA football team that made it to #1 in the nation back in '89 with Sean Moore, Herman Moore, that bunch.
But of course,
How big of a thrill and a great memory was that for you playing on that team?
it was awesome for me, man. Just no one would have ever picked Virginia to go from where they had been historically to having a #1 ranking. The buzz around Charlottesville was awesome. We had a target on our back, but we loved it. And it would have been nice to kind of see that thing all the way through, but circumstances have it that it wasn't meant to be.
Looking at it now and where Virginia was before Bronco took over, I mean, obviously, for former Cavaliers who had been here through very successful times, that had to be really difficult. But talk about the job Bronco's done and why he is the right fit for not only this football program, but for this university.
Well, I just feel like he came in with the right attitude, understanding that the culture needed to be changed. And he and his staff did that. They brought a continuity that they had from working together and established that at Virginia. They brought that family environment, and they had to adapt as well because, it's a little bit different, coaching, 21, 22, 23-year-olds and coaching 18 and 19-year-old kids who have a lot of interest besides the Mormon religion. So I think they had to adapt. They had to change. They came in with the will before skill piece that first year, and I think they got shocked a little bit, realizing that, okay, we get the will, we get the skill, but it's a little bit more than that. And so they learned their lesson. They took their lumps. They learned their lesson, and they brought in the right kids that buy into the system. I can't say that enough. They're recruiting the right kids, and when you have that family environment and you're having success, and as a young kid wanting to come to Virginia and is really focused on academics, really want to play for a team that's on the rise and has the potential to win championships, UVA is the best place for you, and they've really established that type of environment.
Tony, at first, a lot of fans probably raised their eyebrows when Bronco came in because he just didn't sound like a football coach, and he had some different ideas, a lot of different things that fans weren't used to, but it's all worked out really well. But I think in the beginning, a lot of fans were wondering, is Bronco the guy that can take Virginia to the promised land?
A lot of us former players thought the same thing, to be quite honest. We just weren't really sure, especially when you jump out and you get your face kicked in by Richmond as your first game. All due respect to the Richmond Spiders, but they had no business beating us that year. And I think for us, it was tough, man. That first year going 2-10, and we were like, wait a minute, what did we just do? But we had to give them time. We had to give them time, and like I said, they learned a lot that first year, and you saw the immediate changes shortly thereafter.
When did the light go on for you and you sit there and realize, hey, wait a second, this really is the right guy. This is going to be a good fit. Was there any one moment?
Well, I think for me, it was just watching the way that the guys played. What I'd gotten accustomed to, and I hate to say it, it was just that losing mentality that was apparent. Something bad happened, and the kids would just go into a shell, and you're like, okay, well, we know they aren't going to recover. Well, that second year, they kept fighting. They kept fighting and lost a lot of close games. And I said, okay, I sense a culture shift. And then in talking to a lot of the guys, because I mentor a lot of them, that just some of the things that they had to say about him and the staff, and then getting to know some of them one by one. I liked what I saw, liked what I heard, and the results have really spoken for themselves.
Tony, this Virginia team has not gotten a lot of love in the preseason. A lot of folks think that it's not going to be as strong a team as recent years, but you look at the defense and There's a lot of talent on that Virginia defense, and they've got some good transfers in. I think this team could surprise a lot of folks. How about you?
This team will surprise a lot of folks, man. And that's cool. Last year was the first year we really got love, and Virginia should win the ACC. Oh, we did. We should win the Coastal, and we did. So now they got us picked. I think 1% chance of repeating, and we just chuckle at it. We just chuckle at it because at the end of the day, that chip stays permanently implanted on our shoulders, and we just go out there and just hit people in the face. And you're like, all right, well, you know what you're gonna get when you face us. Come ready to ball or catch this L.
Tony Covington joining us here on the Sportsline, former Cavalier and now, of course, the color analyst for the UVA radio network. Tony, who's going to be the player that surprises folks most this year, do you think?
Well, I think it would have been Dontavion Wicks, to be honest. And so we were all just crushed when he went down with an injury for the season a week or so ago. So I think he was going to be the breakout player. Offensively, man, it's tough. It's tough to say. Terrell Jana had his breakout last year. On the offensive side, I think it'll be people know about Brennan. I think he's really going to show some stuff. But I think the guy that's really going to emerge this year is Billy Kemp Jr. I think he's got something different that he brings. He's not big in stature, but he's fiery. He can do a lot. He's fearless. So I think that he's going to do a lot offensively for us, and he's going to be a great guy for the Virginia program. And then on the defensive side of the ball, I think Nick Jackson kind of just scratched the surface a little bit last year, but this year I think he's just going to kick the door down and make his presence known.
Tony, I think one thing that fans love about you, listening to you call a game, is that you really wear your heart on your sleeves. I mean, when you are disgusted with the way Virginia is playing, you don't hide it. You let everybody know about it.
Yeah, I only know it one way, and as we always say, we keep it 100. And so folks know I'm a homer, but I'm going to call it like I see it. If it stinks, I'm going to say it stinks. I get myself in trouble with that sometimes, and I'm still a work in progress. But I gotta call it like I see it, man.
Do you ever get feedback from Virginia fans who don't appreciate that and they want it to be all sunshine and roses?
To this point, I hadn't really got any negative feedback like that. I think people, they appreciate someone who is devoted to the program, has been in the trenches. They have treaded those grounds at Scott Stadium. And they know I care about the kids and the program. I think they really appreciate someone that's not going to sugarcoat things and really is going to tell it like it is.
Won't be any problem getting the players up to play this opener against Virginia Tech, especially after last year breaking the streak. The Hokies are going to be loaded for bear when they see the Cavaliers across the field on the 19th. Yeah,
that's okay. They can be ready because we'll be ready too. And I'm looking forward to us holding on to the Commonwealth Cup, and but tell you, the drinking out of it tastes good.
Hey, tell me about the environment that we're gonna experience this year with football for at least as long as it's played, because it seems like at least in the beginning, our beloved governor has put such restrictions on fans in the stands that there's barely going to be anybody in the crowd. It's going to be a very surreal scene. How will that impact the games, do you think?
I think I think for a team that's playing well, it bodes well. But if you're a struggling team, and the kids that they build, they really rely on that momentum sometimes, man. And a big play happens if you're not playing well, and the crowd gets into the game, and you see the tide just starts to turn just on the momentum side. So I think it'll have its challenges, but that's why I'm glad we have a guy like Bronco Mendenhall running the program, because he's going to keep the guys locked in and focused. And so that's a blessing for Virginia.
How much do you look forward to making that drive every Saturday or every Friday when you go to games, just to be able to call games at your alma mater?
Man, I'm gonna give it to you in my best Bart Scott voice. Can't wait.
Oh man, need a little more passion if you're going to be Bart Scott.
Hey, I'm trying to keep it low. I know we don't have that. I would have got a little more volume to it. But you can sense the roar in my voice.
Yes, absolutely. Well, hey, we appreciate you taking a couple minutes for us. We're excited for the start of football. Great news for Virginia announcing their quarterback, and we're just keeping our fingers crossed that we're going to get that Commonwealth Cup game in a couple weeks.
Absolutely, man. I am looking forward to it, and I appreciate you guys having me on.
Great catching up with you, Tony.